Yeah. We're at the last one here. No, that. Okay. Are you ready?
Okay.
Hello, this is Joanne Spotted Bear. I'm sitting in Bernice White Hawk's home here in the Manderson District community in Manderson, South Dakota called, what is it called?
Spotted Owl.
Spotted
Owl Community.
Spotted Owl Community. This is my Aunt Bernice White Hawk, and I'm gonna, I would like for my auntie to tell you the story of the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. She'll be talking in Dakota, and we will be translating. And she's gonna tell you as much as she could. She's 80 years old and has been here her whole life. So go ahead, Chitelo. Go ahead, Auntie. Tell us all about what you've been through and what's going on.
Bernice White Hawk, what's up now? I live here in Spotted Owl Community for 40 years. Before that, I used to live across the creek. 1950, I came here. I got married to Eugene White Hawk, and we're married 62 years, and I'm 80 years old, and he's 85 years old, and he's still alive. He's on a wheelchair, the next door. Now, I live here with my granddaughter. Spotted Owl Community for 40 years. I have a problem with ranchers, white ranchers. Now I want everybody to know. Let's get David Keister job. He gave me a bad time. Now let's get that guy's
Coons.
Curtis Coons. Now Hassan ki ha Shane Coons a job. Now Curtis's wife, her name is Peggy Coons. Now those are our leaser. Those are Eugene's leaser. They lease his land over there, Grass Creek. So as Curtis Coons family they harassed me all the time. About 20 years they said they gave me really bad time. Every morning Debbie Coons, she came over here on her pickup. She's got guns in by her back window, and she always argued with me. She makes me sick. Every time early in the morning she come, got her pickup and there's a trailer, a horse trailer. She came over here and she got me sick. So I went to the hospital and I told doctor that woman get me sick. Because he told me to make a restraining order on her. So I did make a restraining order on her that she harassed me every morning. So I made one, and at Pine Ridge, now, the police officers took that paper up to her house. Because she just tore it up and threw it in the ground, and she said that paper is nothing to her. That's just a paper, nothing. So she's not going to court, she's not going to do nothing. So the cops bring that paper back. So I went to the superintendent, police department. I told everybody, I told all the president, whoever is there, I told them. And some of them don't want to listen to me. Lydia, forgot her name. She's from Allen. Lydia, I forgot her name, but she said she doesn't want to listen to me. Because I always go, every time a council meeting, I go over there and I told one, and here she said, I don't want to listen to you. We don't want to listen to you. Because you come here every day. We can't do nothing. We can't help you. She said that. So, I don't know what to do. And I went to the courthouse in here, that chief, or that sheriff, what's his name, the white sheriff from Hot Springs.
Can't remember his name.
I forgot his name, that sheriff. He's a white man, he's a cowboy. I talked to him and he said that Teresa Tubals was a prosecutor at that time. That this man went over there and told him that he don't like our horses. He don't like our horses. He wanted to get rid of them. So he told Teresa in here, Teresa said, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and take them. He gave him permission to take them. So this sheriff told me. So we took them and they took them over here at Martin. So I thought they're looking for the horses all over around here, but couldn't find them. And there's a cop from Martin. He works with my son, Eugenio White Hawk. He works with him. He's a cop. He used to be a cop. But he told him that your horses you're looking for is over to Martin at Stockyard. So my son, he went to Martin, UK. They were over there. Whole bunch. They were over there. So they didn't feed them, and they're all bad. They all got hurt. So UK told them to pay $900 to get them out. So we don't have no $900. So I borrowed $900. I borrowed money from somebody, and they went and they got them out. They paid, so they let them go. So I took them to Baseland. All the way to the ride them way over here. So I thought those little horses, they got tired and really tired. So we barely got them back. So it's on the newspaper. And then second time they took them again. And they don't load them up over there. They all took them. So we're looking for them again, and here they got them at the St. Anne and Elk Creek, somewhere that way. So we got them. We couldn't get them back anymore. They're gone. They sold them. And I want to know who got the money when they sold them horses. Who took the money? So, and later on, she got a check from the St. Anne that they sold them. So they sold the horses over there. Look, I'll show it to you. I'll show you the check. And when that's, I couldn't get them back anymore. But the third time, they took them again. And they dumped them up over to the red shirt table, that crossroads. They dumped them up over there. So somebody told us, we got a phone call, and they said, this man said, there's some horses over here at my pasture, he said, and I wanted to know who belongs to it. So he called to Hot Springs. My daughter's, the brand is on my daughter's name and the phone number and everything, so he called over here. So I'm trying to borrow the horse trailer and car. It takes 1 day to get around. So we barely borrow one. So they took them, they went after them, and they couldn't, because they're on the road. So barely got them in a horse trailer, and they brought them back over here. And I know who did it. It's Coons did it. He's the one that took them. And that Keister, they're both doing that. But child really gave me a bad time. But now, okay, 2 or 3 days ago, they stole our horses again. So she went and called to Coons. Coons got mad at her and cussed her up. So we know who took them. Those 2 of them have been doing that to us. And I'm tired. I'm tired of those ranchers, because he doesn't have no pity. He has no, nothing, he don't know whose God he is. All he wants is money, land, everything. He wants everything. He don't care about the other people. He could say, oh, those people, they're elderly, they're old. He could think. And they leased my my husband Eugene's land, he leased it. So he could come over and he could fix our fence. Or he could come over and help us. He could help me and help Eugene because he leased his land and my daughter's land too. But he don't have no pity. He don't care anybody. He just wants something himself.
Did you tell, was you able to tell first off, today's October the 11th, 2012, and it's about 6:40 p.m. And Auntie, I want to ask you before we go on, am I forcing you to do this interview at all? Are you paying me, or am I paying you any money?
No.
To do this interview?
I told you to come over.
Okay. The reason for these questions is this is a international lawsuit against the federal government, local, state, tribal government, because I was showing you early that we have documents here that can concern a N number. You want to zoom in on the N number right here? Can you get that N number right there?
Okay, got it.
Okay. That N number leads to checks that are being written out. These are federal government documents that somebody within our tribe is allowing these ranchers and outsiders to come on our reservation and take over what is once ours or is ours, because our land is not for sale. Our land is sacred to us, and anybody who comes on our land should have the utmost respect for our Lakota Oyate, right? That's how it should be. But somehow they're not doing it. They're not doing what they're supposed to. And when it comes to homes, our homes are supposed to be fixed. We should never live the way we're living today, but we're living that way. You was telling me that you wanted to speak Lakota to the people and prove to the world that we're still here. We're not all of us speak Lakota. Like me, I'm a broken Lakota. But my auntie, she speaks fluent Lakota, and for those of you who don't understand, I will go through the video and I'll edit it, and we'll tell you what my auntie's saying. So if you don't mind, Auntie, go ahead and tell us everything you want to tell us, from the land to the horses. Because if somebody steals horses, that's horse theft. And they're supposed to go to jail and have a fine. And in some cases, horse thieves still get hung. And I'm not sure if they get hung here in the state of South Dakota. But they are too. Those are the laws. Yes, those are not our laws. Our laws are the treaties. Treaties are land of the. Treaties are law of the land. I don't know if you know it, but the U.S. Constitution Supreme Law says that Article 6, Clause 2 states that treaties are supreme law of the land. So by the law itself, the way of life of the people, the ranchers that treat you bad or treat our people bad are to get out. That's what they're supposed to do. And when it comes to our grandmothers and grandfathers and our aunties and our uncles and our children, if we are disrespected in any way, then people are to leave. And that's what the federal government is supposed to be upholding, the fiduciary duty of trustee status, the onerous of doing a job without having to be told. My auntie should never had to make this video, but she needs help. So that's what she's asking for, is help. So the onerous fiduciary duty of trustee status states that a horse thief under law should be prosecuted, moved off the land, or hung, or pay a fine, go to jail, or put to death. Those are the treaties of 1851, 1868. Our treaties started in 1059 before Christ, and the first treaty was the Ten Commandments. So in that way, I wanted to share that with you, and go ahead and tell us some more, and you know.
Where my family, my family. I want to talk about my family.
Okay.
My husband, he's a veteran, Second World War veteran, and he was a treaty man since about 1950 somewhere. He started treaty, and he went all over. He went to Washington, he went to Six Nations. He's a treaty man with Fools Crow, Matthew King, all those men, and he knows all the treaty law. And I was there, good meeting with him. And I know that bad man's law too. I know he was a treaty man, and he was my family is a powwow people, veteran people, horse people. And we're traditional people. We have our own Sundance ground. We have our own sweat lodge too. And my whole family believe in a traditional way. We're treaty people. Ash, I'm an American Indian Movement member too. Which I
You can find your dad in there.
Today I'm old and I couldn't get around. That's why I told Joanne to come over, and I want her to talk to her about my problems here. And I want her to help me. Chaheo, I invited you to come over. Now, a lot of things that are going on that day. It's bad. A lot of things that are going on here in Manderson and here, housings, everything. I've been howling around since 2008. I live in that house for 40 years, and it's a condemned house, inside all bad. So I told them, ever since 2008, I made my paper and I put it in every council meeting. Yeah, I'll call you tomorrow. I thought they were lying to me. So up to date, it's still bad. Then they gave me this house. It's the ice house. It's an ice house. And last year, our light bill is over $1,000 for two houses. Two houses for one light bill, and it's over $1,000. So the Mormon people helped me $700, and the rest of them, I went to the tribe. I went to that place. I forgot, and they helped me the rest. So having a hard time here, and I can, if I go over there and if I ask for help, they're not going to give me help. They're not going to help me.
Auntie, did you know that, you want to zoom in on here? This right here, Bill, Danelle Two Eagles works at housing. She paid herself $600. Jackie Gray paid herself $600. Susie Little paid herself $400. That was a total of $1,600. These three people work in housing. And the story that we're telling you is a story that is throughout the whole reservation. Housing pays their bills within the housing, and they forget our Lakota Oyate, and they make sure that their homes and their families are warm and taken care of. But like my auntie's trying to tell you, her bill was over $1,000. Her family all live here. They've been here for over 80 years, and they're having problems with the rancher that leases this land stealing horses. They took it to the tribal officials, tribal government, and every time they tell them over and over, this, call me tomorrow, and they lied. And, you know, they took it to who they thought was best in charge. My auntie, she told me she was treaty. She told you she was treaty. She was AIM. She, veterans, traditional people. They have sun dances. Matter of fact, my auntie, they give me my dad's peyote tape and my grandma's peyote tape. It was their very last peyote tape when my grandma and my dad died. And it was the very last one right before they buried my dad and grandma. And my auntie, she knows that when we say we're going to help our people, that's what we do. We go out there and we help our people, no matter what the cost is. And the biggest payoff for the Lakota traditional people is when the Creator, He blesses each and every